Hey, what's up, guys? How are y'all? Welcome back to the OS Rick Project, episode 63, the only podcast that promises to stay at Platinum 2. That's it. We're just gonna stay in Platinum 2, guys. We're staying there. We live there. That's our house. We ain't going anywhere. What's up, guys? How are y'all? No, honestly, when it comes to Platinum, I'm talking about Street Fighter 6, by the way, guys, on the ranks. Platinum to me, it feels like it's the new high, like low gold. I was gonna say high silver, but no, platinum. You gotta kind of know which. I take that back. Whatever it is, whatever y'all want to put it as, the way I see it, it really feels like I reached platinum um, real quick on ranked matches. Although when I was playing Street Fighter Five, trying to reach the platinum rank, that took me a long while, and I only reached it. I want to be 100% with you guys. I only reached it because I was able to get onto a win streak. And when you're on a consecutive win streak, you start getting a ton of points. And it shot me all the way to platinum. Once I got there, they knocked me right back down to humble where I belong. They're like, "You don't belong here. You're not a platinum player. Get back down to gold." So and I just stayed in like high gold. I think I ended up like mid, whatever the middle gold is. I forgot what it was called. Like on Street Fighter Five. It's been a while. Street Fighter Six though, you can climb it pretty quick, and you're staying. I mean, although maybe it's a little bit longer there. I don't know. But anyways, in the end, it doesn't really matter. I mean, it is what it is. But I say that right because I play a lot of Street Fighter on the rank mode. But I think the real thing is the battle hubs. I think that's where you get to come across all sorts of different people, all sorts of weirdos. And I've noticed that when I'm playing ranked matches, sometimes I come across some folks where all they do is drive impact. They do one move and drive impact. I'm like, all right, dude, I don't know how you got this far playing like this. And I'm not trying to say like I'm good. I'm not. But the thing is, it's like you see these the way their strategies when they're playing the game. It's just like, I don't know how you got here, dude. That's fine. You're gonna stay here because I really feel like when it comes to fighting games to get at a high level, and it's gonna be going up per rank as you go, right? First you gotta learn your character. You'll learn that like in the bronze and silver. How to use your character, kind of utilize it to do some decent combos and stuff. And then you start going up and then learning to stay grounded, use the footsies, use your neutral, do some whiff punishes, and then it becomes like knowing like matchup knowledge. Like, oh, you're going up against a Cammy, you got to watch out for this. So if she does heavy spinning knuckle, she's gonna be plus on block. Or watch out for a Honda, if he does a headbutt, get ready to parry because then you'll be plus frames. But that's just what I've been playing mostly, guys. With lately, I haven't been playing anything else. Damn, I did play a little bit of Elden Ring earlier today, but very little. Um, yeah, I think I just been on Street Fighter. And honestly, guys, I know I'm bouncing around. This last couple of weeks has been kind of rough. It's just with lots of going on at work, and then down here in the Gulf Coast, Texas, it's just been insanely hot. And I'm sure you guys know by now, but my company was possibly a strike was going to happen, so everything was kind of like, okay, we don't know what's going on yet. So it's been a little crazy, a little hectic. So trying to make time for everything and then balance everything, it's been super difficult. But I got some free time today. I was able to sit down, and I was actually took a lot of notes. I believe Wednesday night, and I was gonna do a podcast Thursday, Thursday night, Friday night, but by the time I get home, relax, and just so exhausted and burned out, it's like I just want to, because when I do the podcast, I really want to make sure it's an extension of myself and how I am at the moment, and I want to make sure I at least have a good presentation of myself. I want to make sure I'm at a point where I can really talk and just elaborate what I want to say. Because if I'm not really feeling it, if I'm not into it, I'm sure you guys could like hear it in the podcast. So I really want to make sure when you guys listening that you're getting like a better version of me than when I'm not feeling too hot. Okay. So yeah, I've been dealing with that, but it is what it is. Street Fighter, I love the game, love the franchise. Been a fan since forever. You guys know this if you have been listening to the podcast. And 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 I don't want to blame. I don't want to ever point blame on anybody, whether it's the publishers, Capcom, or the developers. The guys over there and the teams at the. I don't want to point any fingers and get like too upset and worked up, because at the end of the day, I still love playing the game and I still care, right? And this is why I get upset, because I still care about the game and how it's going, right? If I didn't care, and that would just mean like I'm already done with it, and whatever happens happens. I'm ready to move on. But Rashid recently came out. I actually had a couple matches up against him, random Rashids. He's very mobile, but once you see what kind of tricks he has, you can get around. You can start. You can get in there. But Rashid just came out, and it's almost like Capcom was doing really good with what they were doing with this Street Fighter. Making these new modern controls, which we'll talk about that in a little bit. Having this world tour, single player campaign available, having these battle hubs, which I think are really fun. Having these, trial combos and explaining your character. They're doing real good. The direction they're going with Street Fighter 6 felt like is in a good way, good spot. Sorry. But then Capcom starts to rear its ugly head on at least like what I feel sure is the business side of Capcom, because Rashid is coming out, and I misspoke when I talked about it last time, guys. When I was talking about Rashid coming out, I had the prices wrong. I thought he cost 250 fight coins, which at that time when I thought that, I was like, oh, perfect. He cost 250 fight coins. Capcom sells the fight coin premium currency at exactly 250, so you could just buy that and then, grab those coins and then just turn them in and you could get Rashid. Great. Little did I realize I was wrong. He doesn't cost 250 coins. He costs 350 coins. I did the math here, guys. So at 250 fight coins, that's roughly $5. At 610 fight coins, that's roughly $12. At 1,250 fight coins, that's $24, and 2,750 fight coins is $150. So Rashid costs 350 fight coins. So that makes him cost around $7. But the thing is, you can only buy increments of 250 or 610. So you're gonna have to buy, and then you're gonna have stuff left over. It's like, that's like the worst. At least, okay, it's not the worst. The worst, I'm sure there's a lot of other things that are a lot worse than that, right? A lot of scummy, microtransaction deals that other companies do. Ubisoft, I'm looking at you. But, at least with Arxis, if you didn't want to buy the battle pass, you could buy each individual characters. Yeah, they were a little bit more expensive, but you bought them. That's it, done. Or you buy the whole character pass. You'll get a slight better deal. Maybe get a stage or two or something. But when the Capcom does things like this, where they make it where you don't have enough currency to buy, so you have just things left over, so you're kind of like the kind of how what Activision Blizzard does. That really I don't even want to say piss me off. It just really rubbed me the wrong way. I just like, why are you guys doing this? Everything was going right everything was going in such a good way, and then when it comes to monetizing your stuff, and look, guys, that one person that says, well, you don't have to buy it, or it's only $7. I know, but if they're gonna do that, make it where when you buy the currency, it equals exactly to that amount, because now I don't have to waste money, and it's just because they're already getting the money. Now the fight coins are just gonna sit there, whether I use them or not. And then they also have these stupid BS cosmetic stuff for your avatar, which is, in my opinion, cool if you're into that, like dressing your avatar for stuff, but I do not care. I know I had some like high praises, maybe not high praises, but I thought the World Tour mode was pretty cool at first, and it still is cool. But everything, everything before the but doesn't matter, right? Yeah, I tried playing World Tour mode because I was like, you know what? I need to reach Guile so I could talk to him, increase my bond level with him so I could get his alternate costume. I do like that. Capcom did allow it where you can play World Tour mode and you could grind out and get the costumes for the characters, and and that's a alternative way instead of financially buying them. Cool, I like that. But man, I tried playing it and it's so boring. It's so boring. The things they're doing, these cheesy ass like I know they're trying to teach you how to play the game along the way, but it's just like, dude, I just want to go. I just want to let me talk to the character that I need to talk to. That's my main Guile, so I can get the outfits. That's another thing too. I was talking to some of my online buddies who got the ultimate season pass, whatever. I think they got like a hand, like maybe like a color or two for their characters, but no alternate costumes or nothing like that. Which I was thinking, wow, man, that's just. I just don't like how they're doing it with the Capcom stuff. I mean, in my opinion, I feel like Street Fighter 4 was probably the best way how they handled costumes and stuff because everybody got a costume and it was all themed. So you had like your horror packs, your summer packs, your animal packs, your you name it. They all had different themes, bathing suits and stuff. And it was fun because everybody got something across the board, and you could either get them in like in they able to divvy up the fighters in groups, like all the original cast, the new the guys from like Street Fighter 3, the people from Final Fight, the people from there were newcomers, they were able to group them up and stuff like that, and you could just buy the bundle like that, or you get them across the whole board and everybody get it. And I was fine with that because at least that way you got something for everybody, and it just wasn't lopsided like what they did with Street Fighter 5, where Chun Li was just had a freaking insane amount of costumes. Her closet was stupid good, stupid crazy. And also, like they have these characters. And look, I'm fine with the original launcher characters, right? But they have characters already ready to go for character pass, and it's just like, whoa, these guys were ready to go. It's like having DLC on the. Do you guys remember those days when they used to have like day one DLC on the disc already, and then they charge you for it? That's what it feels like with these fighters. Like I'm pretty sure, all these guys that they have. Well, I don't know. I'm sure they had probably Rashid ready, when the game was releasing. But this character pass, this for Street Fighter 6, the first wave of DLC, you're only getting 4 characters. On Street Fighter 5, you were getting 5 characters. So you're already freaking, one down one character when it comes to the character pass. And I remember also when another of my online buddies was asking about the Street Fighter picking up the game. He's like, "Are these characters? Are they have characters behind paywalls?" I was like, "Dude, I think they do. I think they do." And it's unfortunate that the only way you can get fight money is by actually buying it. You can't grind it or something like that. I mean, again, Street Fighter 5 at least gave you the option to do it. And when I see stuff like this, it's just like they're like on a good track and then just completely not make it fun. But anyways, guys, I'm still playing Street Fighter, and I have been playing more. I've been sticking with Guile, playing classic controls, trying to utilize doing more drive rush combos, extending my combos, and I'm still playing on the snack box micro. I do have a bounty open for a snack box micro XL. If you guys are able to snatch one, let me know. I will buy it from you guys. Okay, as long as it's recently priced. If it's my homies, I'll throw a little bit extra for going out the way and getting it. I know I have some friends going to Evo next weekend, and I asked them about it, and one of them, my boy Johnny, sent me a link to one of Junk Food Arcade's Twitter, and they said that they're gonna have open orders on August 4th on the first day when Evo starts. So hopefully I could get online real quick and put an order in, because leverless controllers, guys, I don't know if you noticed, and leverless controllers are basically hitboxes. Um, Hitbox controllers, leverless controllers, whatever you want to call them, they are a hot commodity right now with fighting games. Everybody is getting them. I mean, you've seen, and it's been going on for a while. You saw it near, I want to say, even like last year during Evo, where you saw, a lot of people were talking about using leverless and hitboxes and bringing them up. And I'm a believer. I converted, and I tried. Excuse me, guys. Just had dinner. I tried actually a couple of days ago, I think last weekend, playing some ranked matches or just playing Street Fighter with my arcade stick. And I'm telling you guys, I got so used to leverless, it was hard to go back. And I've been playing with leverless since late April of this year, so a couple of months now. And I would say, guys, if you have an opportunity, I know they're expensive. If you have an opportunity to get a hitbox or a leverless, I'd say give it a shot. I think it's worth it. Yeah, there is a bit of a learning curve, but once you start learning how to execute with your moves and the motions, I do feel you get better. I do struggle with the ring finger on my left hand when I'm trying to do 2-1-4 motions or just back motions. I feel like I'm struggling there, but it's just something I gotta just work on. I know there's some like hand exercises you could do where like you just kind of have your fingers flat and just raise your ring finger. Just raise your ring finger and just to get it used to getting um, more motion out of it. I think if you're like really good at typing, I'm not really good at typing, or you play like a musical instrument where you're using your fingers very well, a lot, very very dexterous with your fingers. I think a leveless will be right up your alley too. So give it a shot, guys. And I've been enjoying it. Uh, my only issue with the snack box micro, it feels like it's a little too micro for my hands. I do want something just a little bit bigger. That's why I'm looking at the XL. So hopefully I'll be able to pick one up. And just, honestly, I mean, just look at the wall, guys. You guys know I love arcade controllers. You can customize them and change them and everything. And I just it's something I would like to pick up and have. What are we looking at, guys? What are we looking at? That was last week. Oh, speaking of fighting games, so Bandai Namco, they have Tekken 8 has a CNT, a closed network test. They have one on the PlayStation 5, and then they're gonna have one soon for PC and Xbox. And right now, I think all they're doing is just getting a whole bunch of data to see how it works online, which to me is a very good sign for the direction that this game is going, because we all know it's all about offline events now, even though it's all up I'm sorry, it's all a lot of it is online events, although offline is there, and it's still support your locals, guys. Go to locals, and all right. But having the ability to play your games online also is also playing your games online is a very, very important for the livelihood of the game, because you got to be able to play. You got to be able to play, and not everybody can make it to to the locals on the weekend or on a Friday night, or meet up on a Wednesday night or something like that. So I mean, being able to play online and having a good connection, that's going to be very important. And so far from what I've seen on Tekken 8, well, actually I haven't seen much, but I have been talking to some of my friends, and they said they've been enjoying it. I know they're trying some new things. They have this heat system, which is basically having like meter. I believe. I think it's yeah. I think you're having meter, but I gotta look it up for myself, guys. We gotta see more. Still no release date yet, but if I were to put money on something, if I were to put money on it, I'd say sometime in maybe Q1 2024. So we'll see. Still got a good. I mean, if they're just doing, online tests now, we still got a good while to go, and I'm fine. Take your time. We're in no rush. We'll see how that goes. I did see a elite roster list. And again, it's a rumor and it's a leak, so you got to take it with the biggest grain of salt, guys. But I didn't see any Dragunov in there, which is kind of unfortunate for me because when I did play Tekken 7, the character that I like to play was Dragunov, that big old creepy Russian that was kind of like sambo fighting style. He's kind of, he had some like some grapples and some holds and some awesome strikes. He was fun. I liked him a lot. I will hope I can see him, but if not, I mean, I could play as Harong, or I could play as Jin, or there's a whole bunch of characters. Paul. There's tons of characters I could play and I learned, so that'll be fine. Tekken 8, I'm just waiting. They're doing tests, but hopefully, everything's going good. And it will. It's fine. As long as they take their time. As long as they take the time and do it right, that's all they need to do. GranBlue versus Rising. I believe there's been some online, some close there. I think they're having a online test, network test going on. No, not a network test, but like maybe some closed, like a closed network test also with GranBlue. So the creative director Tetsuya Fukuhara, he had a statement out, and I'm just gonna give you a little quote, guys, on the statement, right? Quote: skills performed using both simple and technical inputs would share the exact same properties in Rising. End quote. So at this now it becomes like, why am I? It's like it's just simple inputs and technical inputs. It's all the same. It's like, why even It's like, why do you even have them in there? I don't know. It's to a certain point. To a certain point, it feels like, yes, they want everybody to play their game. I get it. They want everybody to play it because fighting games, when you talk to someone that doesn't play fighting games, you probably hear, "Oh, it's too hard," or "I can't do it," blah blah blah. You probably hear something like that, right? If you just try to make everything inclusive for everybody, eventually the people who have been there forever are gonna feel like, "What am I doing here?" Because I'm not the target audience anymore. If someone can't play your game, after a while, it feels like maybe you should go play something else. Maybe fighting games aren't for you. Now that being said, and I want to try to see things from both perspectives, right? That being said, I don't want to see all the fighting games become that way. There's a lot of genres, there's a lot of franchises that could do things different, right? Because what Street Fighter does isn't the same that what Tekken does. What Tekken does isn't the same what Strive does. What Strive does isn't the same what BlazBlue does. Even though they're all fighting games, they're all unique and different, right? And even then, you could break it down, right? You have your 1v1, original tournament, fighting game, or you have your 3D one, or you have your little party fighting games, or you have your ones that have simple inputs, and there's all sorts, right? And I think that's where I'm okay with it. Is with Street Fighter, I'm very, by the book, very orthodox of how it should be done, using the classic controls. Yes, they have brought in modern controls, but that's a conversation we're going to have in a little bit. We're saving that for later. Of course, they're trying to bring people in, okay, but you still have options of doing, the classic. You get modern, but at a 20% damage reduction. Other games, Tekken, Tekken's always had an insane amount of move lists. Mortal Kombat, I don't really play Mortal Kombat. Arxis, I don't think I've seen anything simple inputs in there. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of easy to put some string combos together. But if something like GranBlue Fantasy Versus wants to try something like simple inputs, I guess that's fine. right? It's their own thing. Yeah, they're a fighting game. It could be a little bit looser. Maybe they want to focus more on bringing in the fan base that they have from the mobile games, and maybe they're hoping that will help. Them having simple inputs will help bringing them in. But again, I'm trying to see both perspectives of this. But if at certain points it feels like if the people you're trying to cater to, if they don't want to be here, and you think just making the game simple is going to bring them in here, how long do you think they're going to stick around? Maybe they might. And what about the folks that have been playing fighting games for the longest? Once they come in here and realize, oh, this game's like there's no depth to this game. I mean, because weren't they trying to use that with DNF Duel, saying, "Oh, we're gonna have simple inputs and we're gonna take it from there, and hopefully people will start playing the game." The game lasted around like maybe 2 months. I mean, granted, they recently just introduced Spectre into the roster, and they had like a major balance update. But I haven't played the game in forever. I had fun with it; it was cool. But then after a while, when no one's playing it anymore, it's like, well, am I waiting on these queue times to play a game, to play a dead ass fighting game? I could go play something else. It's just, I don't know, and I'm pretty sure there's other games doing this also, other game companies doing this, where they're trying to cater and throw the biggest net out there to bring people in. Some games kind of works, right? I mean, Elden Ring, one of my favorite games. It's one of the I've heard people say it's the easiest it's the easiest Souls game. Um, that's your opinion. Yeah, it could be easy, or it could be hard. I don't know if it's the hardest, but it can be hard because I mean you have the option of, look, if you want to make this game really hard, of course you can make it really hard. You could just go in there by yourself and go try to kill General Radon by yourself. Good luck. Well, if you need some help, well, you go with summon people, get summon your ashes, use all your weapon arts, all these different abilities. I mean, I can see how people could say it's the most easiest or the most hardest. That's fine, but they did make it. They made it in a way where you can come in there and play the game however you want and make it as hard or as difficult for you. Fighting games is going to be is more of a challenge, right? Because how are you going to find that balance? Because it's not just one person playing by themselves. It's a person playing against another person. And eventually, if all you're going to have is have someone have the simple inputs, and they start winning just because think about it, guys, think about it. And I'm not trying to say just because, look, I'm just platinum. I'm not great. I'm not good at the game. But you have to like at least acknowledge and think about, yeah, you're giving up 20% damage, but your DPs, your dragon punches, your anti-air moves are always going to be consistently coming out whenever you want them. It's a challenge when you're playing classic controls and they're doing a jump in and you're trying to get DP. You might miss the input. You might not have time to input or not have time to react because it's not one button. And you might have to eat it, or they're going to jump in, or you're going to have to, scramble or hopefully execute it on time. If you're going up against someone who just has that just at one button reaction, it's going to be different. Even if you, and then if that's the case, if you're just giving up 20% of your damage, if you ask me, give up 20% of your damage or always have your anti-air DPs on point, I always take my anti-air on point. Fuck the 20% damage, because whatever I'm always hitting, I'm always gonna make contact with that, so that's fine. So we're gonna see how that goes with the whole modern controls. I know a lot of people. I know Twitter isn't a real place, right, guys? But a lot of people have been talking about it, how it feels with modern controls. Even some of the pro players have just straight up dropped classic controls and just went modern. I know Itabashi just straight up goes modern. Marisa, I think even Takedo was for a while was playing modern Luke, because I mean the fact that you always have access to a DP or a special move, a press of a button, that goes a long way, guys. Trust me. So Oh yeah, I wasn't even done with GranBlue Fantasy Versus. Also, they said GranBlue versus GBVS was the perfect game to what? I can't read my own handwriting. It was a perfect game to such games. Oh, God damn it, dude. I gotta work on my writing. It was late night. Okay, I was tired. But yeah, after a while, it just becomes like, okay, I guess if you were, look, I'm still excited for GranBlue Fantasy Versus, but I just feel like there should be some trades. Um, but at the end of the day, it's it's a little side project. It's a little smaller, smaller. I say smaller franchise. I don't know. We'll just have to wait till I get my hands on it, right? I can't really say too much until we see it, right? Just kind of like how when Street Fighter 6 came out first, we're like modern controls, what? That's whack. And then we're like, yeah, modern controls, that's cool. Because brings people in. And now it's like, yeah, modern controls are kind of whack. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I mean, I've seen some people talk about on Twitter talking about the wish there was like a filter so you could like filter out modern players. I'm not gonna lie, guys. When I'm playing and I see someone use modern, dude, I'll try my best to like 2-0 this guy. I'm trying my hardest. I've become a sweaty ass try hard to make sure these guys who are coming in here playing modern get knocked out. What else, guys? Oh yeah. So I know I talked about this on the last episode. Games that are looking out for in August next month, a couple of days from now. We're gonna have Armored Core 6: Fires of Rubicon. I know I say I told you guys there's a game that's coming out. I tried to put my blinders on and not look too much into it because I wanted to be a, new experiences going into it. But I'm gonna be real with you guys. I did look at a couple of videos for Armored Core. It's kind of like the training videos, the stuff you're gonna see early in the game. So okay, I was like, you know what, just a little bit, it'll be fine. Cause I kind of want to see, and I kind of want to talk about it in the podcast, right? I didn't really have much stuff to talk about, so I really wanted to find some stuff. So, uh, um, so there was a tweet by Okami Games saying, which is a tweet, so take it with a grain of salt. I don't know how much truth there is to this, guys. So a couple of bullet points. The game will be 50 to 60 hours long. You know what? 50 to 60 hours, that's a little bit on the long side for me. I prefer now that I'm adult and have a full-time job and a lot of other hobbies and stuff, I prefer my games to be maybe half of that length, 20 to 30 hours. But you know what? 50 to 60 hours, it's fine. Hell, I'm on my freaking third playthrough in freaking Elden Ring and I got over 250 hours logged in. So obviously, if I love the game enough, that's not an issue, right? So 50 to 60 hours long. Environments are much larger and much more vertical and more vertical. Cool. So it'll be a lot of like flying around. I bet they're gonna utilize some of that. It's probably gonna feel like how you guys remember playing Sekiro? No. I think I'm the only one who played Sekiro. Maybe like two other played Sekiro. But you know how you guys first started Sekiro, you get that you get your grappling hook and you're like, oh, this is gonna be a lot more vertical. There's gonna be a lot more of this going on. Okay, because traditionally Souls games are pretty grounded. There's not that much. There's not that much. Flying around. So okay, a lot more vertical. Enemies get more aggressive as their health drops. Okay, I like that. More better AI. Oh, we need to talk about AI, guys. We need to talk about was it Mid Journey and what they're doing. We need to talk about Nvidia, what they're doing with those cards, guys. I think they're just trying to sell it to the AI guys. We'll talk about that later. See, PC has native 120 frames per second support. Now that, guys, I'm not gonna lie, that one I saw that and I was like, holy crap! And even in that tweet, it had parentheses first for FromSoft. And I was thinking the same thing. I was like, oh, they're going past the 60 frames because it's always been, just 60 frames. And you know what? 60 frames does look great. It's fine. It's very playable. But if you could get 120, let's go for the 120. And even then, you guys have heard me say this a lot of times already. Elden Rings on PC, there's some times where it kind of stutters, and when it dips below 60, you can tell. You can really tell. So hopefully, with them doing this, kind of like giving their engine a facelift, maybe it means when it comes to PC, they're gonna have just a better experience. Just maybe learn from what they did, which is weird because I remember when I was playing Sekiro on PC, I never had any dips on frames, but Elden Ring did. I wonder if it's because of the online play. I don't know. I don't know what the issue is, guys. I don't know. But hopefully, then yeah, them going to 120 frames per second. I can't wait. I'm excited, and that kind of made my decision for me. I was juggling in the air of whether I'm going to get this on the PC or PlayStation 5. PlayStation 5 is a great console, wonderful console, guys. I think it's really good. But if I could get 120 on the PC, I was like, well, I mean, why not? Why not? So I think that made my decision for me. Now, if I love the game enough, maybe I'll pick it up on the PlayStation also. So we'll see. Similar to Elden Ring. Let me see. Ray tracing can be enabled for the garage. I'm guessing so. When you're checking out your mechs and everything, you'll get to see the nice ray tracing, the RTX that Nvidia has. And we'll see how that goes. We'll see how that goes. Maybe it'll be nice. Maybe it'll look good. I'm using AMD GPUs, and their ray tracing isn't all that good. So I really don't have it turned on. I do have it set on low on Elden Ring sometimes, just so I could just see how it looks like, a little bit experiments with it, and it's not too terrible. It's fine. What else? Permanent upgrades can be earned in arena mode, which got me thinking, are they going to be having PvP in this game? And I think I saw somewhere, since I wrote this down Thursday night, Wednesday night, I think I wrote this down Wednesday night. I think since then, I saw someone either tweet out a video or on YouTube where it looked like there was some sort of like open area arena combat going on, where I'm starting to think, okay, this seems cool. This seems fun. I wonder what they're going to do with it. And I want to go on a little tangent on this, guys. There's been recently FromSoft, Bandai Namco have released a update for Elden Ring. I think a lot of it, most of it was a couple of bug fixes, but most of it, I think, just me skimming over it, was adjustments for PvP, which I like. I like hearing that, because not only does it mean that FromSoft is still looking at keeping an eye on the game and making sure everything's in a good spot, and trying to and try to balance it. Maybe it won't be the best for everybody, right? But at least the fact that they're still looking at it means they still have have support for the game. Another thing too is another thing that I'm thinking about is with the PvP that they've been focusing on Elden Ring. It gives me a feeling that yes, they're gonna probably have stuff when it comes to PvP in Armored Core 6. So I never really did much of the player versus player in the Souls games. It just wasn't my cup of tea. It wasn't something that I cared for. Mostly because there's just so many builds, so many weapons, so many not lost arts, weapon art. Well, of course, there's weapon arts, but Ashes of Wars and stuff like that, and abilities that I felt like, you're gonna just see a whole bunch of randoms, and it might work. Some people might love that, right? But I kind of want to see like something more structured. I don't know how the PvP for Armored Core is gonna be shaping up, but I'm kind of excited. I'll give it a shot, look at it, and see how it plays, because Elden Ring, you're gonna see some weird stuff. You're gonna see some weird stuff, and some people like that. Me, I just didn't interest me. I was just more more wrapped up with the PVE, the single player content. But we're gonna have to give this a PvP a shot. Let me see. OS upgrades. OS upgrades allow you to customize the feel of your mech. Okay. And they're going to have a huge variety of weapons. Armory stations allow you to change loadout mid missions. So, yeah, I think they're gonna bring in some of the stuff like what they had going on in Elden Ring, where they had a whole bunch of weapons. And I'm glad they're going in this direction because Elden Ring, you really have a different experience, even on your second playthrough, right? Yeah, you might be, a melee build, but you know what? Have you tried a melee build with colossal weapons? Have you tried a sword and board melee build? Have you tried fist weapons? Have you tried? I mean, there's so many weapons, so many builds that even though you still want to be melee or you still want to be a caster or something, there's different types of spells and sorceries, incantations, colossal weapons, great weapons, regular weapons that you can go. It's going to be a different experience. Yeah, the map might be the same way, but you can have a different route, or I mean, it's just having all these options and a variety of weapons. I think is gonna be cool. And I already been thinking about like how am I gonna make my mech? I'm thinking I'm gonna try to go like the Gundam route. I'm gonna make them bipedal, maybe have some sort of like missiles that go off, or some flares to help disrupt your enemies, and then have like a rifle, and then like get up real close, maybe like a lightsaber or something like that. So I'm already thinking around, and I know they have other stuff. You can have tank treads, you can have jetpacks, you could be quadruped. Is that a word? Am I making things up now, guys? I'm pretty good at that. I don't know. So I'm excited, and the fact that they say you could change your loadouts mid missions. Hey, look, this thing ain't working out. I'm gonna try a different build. So that's excited. I can't wait. Blasphemy. Oh, that's coming out August 24th or 25th. One of those 2 days, guys. Check it out. And also, Blasphemous is coming out the same day. So I'm gonna pick up both copies because you know what? I enjoyed Blasphemous very much when it came out. I had such a good time with it. I got it on the Switch a couple of years, 2018, 2019. I forgot. It's been a while. There was, at launch, it was a little rough, little bugs here and there, but you know what? It was still a very fun game, good experience. A lot more platform than it is Metroid, although it's very much, it's very much Metroid. And I remember they had an AMA on Reddit once, and I asked them what were some of their favorite games, and like, yeah, they named a whole bunch of other games, and they said, of course, Symphony of the Night, which is when they said that, I'm like, okay, these guys. I know what I'm going to get myself into when I play this game. So, but yeah, Blasphemous 2 also coming out the same date, but a month later in September, they're going to have physical copies available of their game also. So what I plan on doing is on launch date, probably pick it up for the PC. And then once the physical copies come out, probably most likely pick up a copy for the Nintendo Switch. I feel, in my opinion, I feel, if you're gonna help a game developer, the indie ones, the smaller guys, man, help them out, right? Help them out. These big AAA companies are so bloated. You don't even know where the money is going. And you know what? I don't even know exactly where the money is going when it comes to the independent, but I'm pretty sure if I was a betting man, I'd probably say, you know what? They probably get most of the cut or a lot better of a cut than, some of the AAA. I'm sure the AAA, bonuses go straight to the freaking CEOs and shareholders and shit. So that's what I plan on doing. I'm not trying to make this like a weird flex or anything, guys, but it's just like, if I'm going to help out a developer and get a copy of the game, it's gonna be the smaller guys for sure. The smaller guys, I mean, of course, if it's a game that you love, by all means, buy whatever you want to buy. Of course, you want to, But if there's a way that I can help out the developers, by bidding a physical copy, well, most definitely. And I know Blasphemous, they had a limited run of Blasphemous, I believe. I'm not too sure. I think I missed the opportunity too. I think I missed on the opportunity because I think at one point I saw them at Best Buy. I could be wrong. I'm not too sure, but and even if it's through limited run, I think they're kind of wokey tokey, and I think I don't know how much of a cut they get from it, but if it's just coming straight, if a physical copy goes, to supporting the developers, yeah, I'm all for it, guys. I can't wait. Yeah, so put Blasphemous 2 on your list, guys, if y'all are interested in that. You know, if you really like the whole Metroid side scroller, you know, when it's very, it's like steeped in like Spanish religious dogma, which has a very dark twist and everything. It's the style and the aesthetics is very creepy and dark, and I love it. There was one more thing I wanted to talk about, guys, before I take off. Oh, Netflix. Netflix is going to be having the next season of Castlevania, September 28th. And you know, guys, I don't know how you guys feel about Castlevania. Please let me know. Either tweet or message me, whatever. You know, that first couple of episodes, that mini season that came out, I think it was what, 3 episodes, 4 episodes. I mean, right out the gate, I was like, oh, okay, yeah, I'm digging this. I'm liking this style, you know. And then the season came out. You know, the first Rule season came out. I was like, man, this is good. And then another season came out, and I think they made like they, I think it was a third season. I think the third season. Maybe I was wrong. I'm not sure. But they just totally like sidelined Alucard. They made him like gay for some weird reason. I was like, what was this for? Like, where did this come from? They did like they made him hang out with the incest twins. And I was just like, what's going on? And then the last season, I remember the alchemist, something Germain. He went in some sort of portal and saw some things, and I thought that was a trip. I love that part. I forgot. I gotta go rewatch the series again. But I remember, you know, that series, it started off really strong, and then it kind of just so them coming back to it. Yes, I'm gonna watch it because you know, I mean, you can't make a solid judgment without, you know, at least watching the first couple episodes, right? And if it works, it works. But I kind of want it to be like how when it started first, you know, Castlevania, lean into it, you know, very dark and grim, and you know, the dark fantasy, you know, and just and very violent and bloody, you know, stuff like that. I kind of hope it goes back to that and not trying to be some weird like what they did with Alucard. Like, what was that about? Like, what? Okay. And hopefully it's just a good story, a fun story, and get to enjoy it because I don't know how. I don't know if you guys notice. It just feels like a lot of stuff you see on like on Netflix or whatever. They have these shows that have the kind of these subtle, not even subtle, but they, I don't know, I think they're trying to make something for a certain group of people that you, it's like, why? I don't care. Like, who are you catering for? Or trying to go kind of wokish or something like that. It's just like after a while it becomes like I just want to hear and watch a good story, have a good time, not trying to be lectured over my head or get beat over my head with a character that has a different lifestyle or something. I mean, that doesn't matter. Just make a good show. And then right now, right, with the whole Hollywood going on strike, who knows when that's going to end or what's going to happen with that. All right, guys, think I'm done. Um, so going to some stuff. Got to figure things out, but I'm gonna try not to be a complete stranger. Um, but we'll see. You know, sometimes we're good, sometimes are not so good. So we'll just try to be cool, take it one day at a time. If I make some notes, so we'll talk about it. Because like I said, I do like talking. I like just ranting and raving. I mean, what I do. It's what I do. You know. But you know, there's some times where it's just like, man, I gotta feel like I gotta take a break, take a step away from things, and then recharge your batteries and get your mind correct, right? Because if you're not, if I'm not feeling it, and I come out here try to do a podcast, and you guys start picking up on it, I'm like, I'm not trying to like put the energy out for you guys to feel it. You know, I want y'all guys to feel the excitement, the energy that I have when I want to talk about something. And there's a lot of things I do want to talk about, right? But you know, either I just don't make notes of it or forget about it, or you know, worst comes to worst, like I just having to. Sometimes, you know, it's difficult for me to express what I'm trying to say. I have all these thoughts in the brain, and it's trying to put the proper flow and function in words, and then make them come out to make something that's some semi coherent. It's difficult for me, guys. So I mean, that's another reason why I've been doing this podcast, right? It's something that I can do that could just help talk. You know, trying to practice not saying the ums or breathing into the mic, or just trying to be more self-aware of what I'm doing. You know, A lot of it is, even like right now, I'm starting to recognize, all right, you got to chill. Take your time with your words. You're not in a rush. You have nowhere to be. You where you're at is where you're at right now, and enjoy it, right? And that's something I gotta. It's almost like I need a daily reminder of it until it becomes natural. So hopefully, guys, I can start working on things, be a better person, and that's all we can do, right? Just be a better person. Just try. Put things, everything in perspective. Everything in perspective. Try to see it from the other person's point of view. All right. Try to see it from a different way, and then just try to use that insight, and maybe, just maybe, that'll get you an idea of what's going on to the other person, and maybe you could just kind of just think about it, right? But anyways, guys, that's it for me for right now for today. I'm gonna go enjoy the rest of my weekend. I'm gonna go maybe do some streaming, work on the podcast, do some stuff from the room. I don't know, got a lot of things to do. But anyways, guys, have a good night. Thank you for listening. Sorry that the episode was a week late, so this might throw things off a little bit. So if it does, it does. If it doesn't, it doesn't. It's fine. Anyways, guys, I love y'all. Have a good night. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Thank you for listening. Have a good night, and I will see y'all next time. Bye.